Okay.
It says rest in peace, I think.
Okay, well, welcome to chair yoga. For people at home, if you haven't done this before, only do things that feel good. And for people in here, right? Every week is different, every day is different. So what felt great last week might not work this week. So if you're not supposed to twist or fold, don't twist and fold just because I say so. And why don't we make a little bit of room just so you can open your arms wide without, the usual shenanigans. Yes. So let's start by sitting up nice and tall, both feet on the floor. If they reach the floor, and we'll try to sit up tall by drawing the ribs in so we're not arching the back, pulling them in and get some length. So let's bring one hand to the top of the head and think of pushing up and getting taller. So the neck is lengthening, we're really tall. We'll keep that nice long spine and bring the hand down. Now that's a little bit of work to stay there. So we'll let that upper back relax. We'll still keep some long spine here. Oh, I should make sure I'm not taking phone calls. And let's close the eyes and let the chin drop. And we'll just take a couple of breaths to get ourselves in the room. And wash away all the other things we've been thinking about, the traffic or people or lists of things we have to do. And we're just going to be here. And as you begin to settle down, begin to notice your breathing. So if you just rushed in and sat down, your breathing might be a little fast, so give it a chance to settle down. We want to be relaxed. And keep the belly soft. And maybe bring the hands to the belly, or one to the belly and one to the chest, to help you get that sense of movement with your breath. So we're not trying to breathe in any special way, we're just trying to notice what's happening in our bodies. We'll try to keep the breathing smooth, but don't force it. And then pay particular attention to the front of your body, to the belly and the chest. They might be moving as you breathe in and out. And bring your attention to the back of your body. And try to take a few breaths focusing on those back ribs, expanding towards the chair. And it's okay if you can't feel that. And let's slide the hands to the side of the ribs. So you can wrap them around or just bring the knuckles to the ribs, but we'll try to keep the shoulders relaxed as we do that. I want you to think about breathing into those side ribs and pushing your hands a little bit out to the sides. And again, you may not feel that, that's okay. If you can feel it, maybe one side expands more than the other. And let's bring the hands back to the thighs and think about breathing in all those directions. To the front, to the back, and to the sides, expanding the whole rib cage. So this would be a good exercise to do in the morning. Get that diaphragm moving and maybe make your breathing a little more effective during the day. So we'll keep that sense of smooth breathing, and we'll start to add other body parts. So you can keep your eyes closed too if you like. As you breathe in, we'll lift the chin. And breathing out will lower, lengthening the back of the neck. Now, if we move really slowly, you might need to take extra breaths here. So don't worry too much about making your movement coincide with your breath. I'd rather we took slow movements and extra breaths. We'll do one more, slowly lifting. Think of that throat lengthening. And then lowering down, let the chin drop. Let's pause here for a second. Really let the back of that neck lengthen. And we'll come up through the center. Let's turn the head towards the right shoulder. And then slowly come back through the center. And then over to the left. So we're really going slowly today. I think we've slowed down our movements in the last few weeks, and I think we will feel a little better for that. As you're taking this side to side movement, just notice if you have a better range of motion on one side than the other. I definitely feel that today. I don't know why. We don't have to understand. We're just observing our bodies. And then we'll meet up back in the center. Let's have that right ear drop down just a little bit towards the shoulder. You take a breath there. With each breath, maybe you can feel that left shoulder relaxing. You might feel a stretch down the side of the neck. We'll come back to the center and go to the other side. Same thing, we'll just hold it for a breath. And come back up to the center. Let's go over to the right again. And let's play around with movement a little bit here. So just see how it feels if you turn your chin down towards the floor, bringing the chin more towards your armpit. Finding a place where you feel it's most effective. And it might help to actually just move, to turn your head a little bit or to nod it a little bit. And come through the center, let the chin drop. Then lift the chin and we'll come to the left. And we'll do the same thing here. If this feels like the best place to be, stay there. Or you could experiment a little bit with dropping the chin down a little bit and moving the head. Maybe making some circles or yes or no. And we'll bring everything down through the center. And then let's lift the head. Let's move the shoulders around. Coming up and back. And then we'll reverse those circles. So squeezing the shoulder blades a little bit together, then bringing the shoulders up and then forward. And then let them move around a little bit. And then let's try and keep our posture nice and upright, and we'll come to our hands, making fists, and make some circles. So do you notice how sometimes when we do this, it suddenly feels really stiff compared to other days?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Why? I don't know, but mine feels stiff too. What were we doing? Not for me. Crazy talk. And then we'll stretch the fingers out really wide and then curl them in. Yeah, everything feels a little bit stiff today. Stretching them wide and then curl them in. I'm sure there's some theory about change of temperature and humidity. We'll do one more. And then we'll stretch them, make a claw and a beak and a fist. Stretch and claw and beak and fist. Once more, stretch and claw and beak and fist. So let's not do the talking, just do the watching, and we're going to mix it up. So It's good if I'm not talking because then you don't know what I planned to say. And give them a little shake. And then we'll do it with closed eyes, or you'll do it with closed eyes. And just listen. So beak, claw, beak, stretch, fist, claw, stretch, fist, beak, claw, beak, claw, fist, beak, stretch, claw, fist. Oh, and that's it, because I said fist and did this. I was watching Kathleen's face. She was berating like, and so I shouldn't have looked at you because I said fist, and it's like, I'm done. I'm done. You think it's easier to listen? Oh, I don't know because I maybe yeah yeah. So yeah. So I don't know if people watching cheat and watch because I don't always do what I'm saying first. Yeah. So let's stretch the wrists and arms out. So this time we're going to come with the palm facing down. I'm going to bring the thumb to the inside of the wrist. So the opposite thumb, bring it to the wrist, and then we're just going to squeeze that wrist back a little bit. So you've been bending it down, pointing the fingers to the ground. You can wiggle those fingers. Ooh, yeah, even that feels like a big stretch today. Shoulders down. Yeah, we've lost some neck, so let's regain the neck. And then remove that, give it a little shake, and we'll do the other way around. So with our stop sign and turn it down, stretch it. And keep breathing. And then release it. And just let it hang out, give it a little shake. And then we'll try our other hand. So thumb, for those on camera, thumb is under there, just for some support, and we're giving the wrist a little squeeze. So there are other ways you could do this, but I think having the thumb there, yeah, this makes it the most complicated. This makes it a mental challenge for some as well. And then just notice if this wrist feels very different than the other one. And then we'll release it and we'll do the other way around. Palm facing out and reaching back. Keeping the shoulders as relaxed as we can. And then give that a little shake. Everything feels stiff. Why? Let's see how bad our fingers feel. So right hand up, 2 fingers on the pinky, letting them rest down. And then move to the ring finger. And the middle finger. So what's on your socks, Laura? Just patterns or? Mm. Okay. And then the index finger. Yes. And then the thumb. Okay. So we've got flowers and mine doesn't have. And then give that thumb and any of the knuckles a little bit of attention. We could probably spend an hour just doing handwork. Oh. Ooh, wouldn't that be nice? Well, if you want to practice, we could like hold hands and do it. So sometimes just that gentle rubbing brings some blood flow to the area, and so it's. And I think your body naturally knows what it wants to do, right? When something aches, you know you want to rub that area. Something hurts. It's just instinctive for us to do that. Let's try the other hand. Wow, my really stiff hand. Pinky finger. And the ring finger. And the middle finger. So today I can really feel this pulling up into my arm for some reason. I don't know what. Because it's today, because it's a Wednesday in November. And the index finger. Yes, we can drive ourselves crazy by looking for patterns and reasons for things, and sometimes it's just, it is. And then the thumb, because the sun's shining, because the sun isn't shining, because it's foggy, because it's cold, because it's warm. There's no real reason. Mm. Well, yes. And then let's give some attention to those knuckles. Yeah. Every day I'm older. There's an extra one there. Okay. And any other knuckles. Sometimes it's surprising when you actually start pushing something where it feels. And then just rubbing all through there, maybe giving the wrists a little rub. So for the wrist, you can just bring your finger and thumb around the wrist and just very gently circle it. What time did you get up today? And then switch hands. So pretty good for you then. Okay. And then let everything hang down. And just bring your hands to your thighs and just pay attention to how your arms and hands feel. Because we don't really think about it. But now that you've rubbed them a little bit, you probably have more of a sense of feeling in there, and they feel a little bit warmer. Interesting. Then let's come to our feet. Let's start, as we usually do, lifting those heels. Just hold it there. And then lower down and pull the toes back towards the shins. We'll try that a few times, lifting and lift. Up and up. So really try to pull the toes back towards the shins. So it's a little bit of a stretch there. And you probably can have more mobility on one foot than the other. And then let's switch. Do one heel and one toe. And switch. And switch. Let's try and give some attention to our neglected toes. So feet can be on the floor. Spread the toes as wide as they'll go. And then relax them. Spread them really as wide as they'll go, which might not be very wide. And then relax. A couple more times, stretching them out. And relax. And once more. And let's try to just lift the big toe and put it down a couple of times. Yep. And some people can lift other toes. So maybe you can lift, no, it's not going to work for me. Yeah. I mean, theoretically we should be able to, but this will not work. It's because we're wearing socks, you're right. It's the socks. It's the socks, yeah. Let's get those knees moving a little bit. Yes, click, crunch. And then as your creaky knees get warmed up, we can think about really lengthening through the back of that leg and reaching through the heel. Lift and reach. We'll do that a few times. Lift and reach. So pulling the toes back and getting a little stretch in the back of the leg. Excuse me. Okay, next time the right foot's up, let's leave it there. And we'll point and flex. And we'll make some circles. And switch directions. So on this foot, imagine you've got ink on your big toe, and we are going to write stripes in honor of Kathleen's socks. If I can spell. And then bring that foot down, give you a shake. And we'll do the left foot. Point and flex. And make some circles. So try to make that circle as big as you can. You might notice it doesn't turn out one way as much as the other, and then switch directions. And on this foot, we will write flowers, even if they're not actually flowers. So let's try and keep the leg still and only move with the ankle. So we'll have to do that again for Laura. I don't know what I'm spelling here. I think I just spelled flowers without a W. And bring that down and shake it around. Let's move our legs a little bit more. So bring the feet together, and then we'll open the heels and the toes and the heels and the toes. Then we'll come back, back and back and back. Just in and out a few times, getting those knees and ankles moving and warmed up. And then meet up back in the center, and we'll go for a little run. A little bit wider. Coming in. Make some noise. And then relax. Notice your heart rate. Still going. Bring the hands to heart center. Let's push the palms away and lift up. Take a little side bend. And then up into the other side. Do that a couple of times. Back to the center, and we'll fold forward. As you inhale, slowly lift. And a couple more, folding forward. And as you breathe in, lift. Once more like that. And lift. Okay, everyone's got their arms up to the ceiling. And then we're going to release one arm and take a side bend. Dancing to your own beat over there. And then up and over. She got, nope, not yet. She got carried away. Let's do once more to each side. And up and over. This time we'll come over to the right. We'll make some big circles with this left arm, like a big air guitar. Every time I do that, I'm getting a little click here. Click, click. And click. And then this time we'll keep it up there and then reach it towards the opposite corner. So a long line from the hip all the way forward. Then bring the hand down to the opposite knee. And then sit up tall and take a twist to the right. Let's release the right arm, sweep it all the way up and over to the opposite knee, and take a forward fold. Take a couple of breaths here. And slowly lengthen, bring the hands to the waist, lifting up. Take off that imaginary shirt and let it drop to the floor. And bring the hands to heart center. Interlace the fingers, switch the way they interlace, so switch the thumb and all the of the fingers. Push the palms out, lift the arms up. We'll take a couple of side bends like this, to the left and up. If it doesn't feel good to have your arms in this position, you could keep the palms facing down if that feels better. And back to the center, folding forward. and then lifting. So just doing a little bit of cat-cow. So just bringing the arms down a little bit and then lifting. Let's do one more before Laura comes off the chair. You'll get a chance. Release the hands and over to this side and lifting up and over to the right. Let's do one more to each side. Getting tall in the center and then taking that side bend up and over. And we'll come once more to that left and we'll make our big air guitar with our right arm down and around. How many did we do? Let's pause after this one and then reach for the opposite corner. So keep reaching. And then bring the hand down to the knee. Lengthen first and then take that twist. Just release that left arm, sweep it all the way up and over. And come to that forward fold. Take a few breaths here. Slowly lengthen, bring the arms to the sides, reaching up, dropping that shirt on the floor. And come back to the center, release your arms, let the shoulders move. Good. Let's scoot forward a little bit on the chair. Make sure my knees are okay. Bring that right foot out. And we're just going to lift and lower it, but we're going to try and keep everything still. So we're not trying not to do this. So even if you only lift it an inch, but keep the core engaged. So pull the ribs in, pull those hip points together, and lift and lower. Until you feel like it's a little bit of work, like now. And then we'll switch. And one leg might cooperate a little more than the other. So we're not trying to wear ourselves out, but getting a little bit of fatigue in the muscle is a good thing. And then lower it and make sure we're properly on our chair. We're going to do our lifting up and out. So for those at home, if you have an issue lifting your leg, you can just sweep the floor. So let's all do that a couple of times. Just sweep the floor. So stick with that, or if you're feeling a bit more adventurous, you can lift it up and out. So because we already did that lift and lower, this already feels like a bit of work now, doesn't it? We should count these, so I do the same. Try and do 6. So this should be 3. So you don't have to lift it really high. If you're getting tired, you can keep it small, or you can really go for it. Is this 6-ish? Okay, and then release that, and we'll do a couple of sweeps with the left foot. And then we'll lift and bring it out. Ooh. There's 2 more after this, according to the official counter. Oh, there we go. And let's bring that in. Oh, that was work, wasn't it? So let's add to that and do a little bit more core work. Let's start with our I Dream of Jeannie arms, because I just like saying I Dream of Jeannie. Nice and tall, shoulders are relaxed, shoulder blades are just sitting on the back where they're supposed to be. And we'll lean back, hinging back, and then exhale without using the legs. We'll try to pull everything here forward and use those muscles to come upright. Hinging back, exhale, engage that core. So belly button squeezes towards the spine, hip points squeeze towards each other, and think of closing the ribs like a door. They can't actually move like that, but think of that direction. Now, if that is a challenge, stay there. If you want to add a little bit of challenge, maybe try bringing your hands behind your head. We're not going to lift the chin. We've got a nice long spine still. Everything stays the same shape. We're just hinging back. And then exhale, pull everything. So make sure you start the exhale first to instigate that movement. So you're back now, begin to breathe out. Ooh, oh, I really felt that one. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And then relax. So make sure that you're actually moving your whole back. So if this is my sit bone, I'm trying to sway back and forward rather than arching and coming forward, arching. So the whole back we're trying to move rather than just leaning back with the upper body. So that's the goal there. Let's do one more thing that we haven't done for a very long time. So I'm going to start just by tapping the fingers, each one in turn to the thumb. Tap, 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 right? So we can all do that. So let's do this one at a time. We're going to tap the fingers as we make a circle with the arm, theoretically. So we can tap, 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 keep circling, 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 circling. It's hard to say circling, and then go backwards. I'm not going to try and go backwards with my fingers. Oh, that's really weird. Yeah, me too, yeah. I don't know what's happening to my hand. And then we'll try the other hand, the other arm. So tap, tap. It's very hard to do 2 things completely different at once. So luckily no one can really see what I'm doing with my fingers, and then we'll try to go backwards. Yeah, again, I want to start, and let's start with the pinky if we want to. Just keep the fingers moving. I feel as though I'm missing a finger. It's weird. I want to do 5 taps and then come down. That's a little bit of brain work for the day. Let's do some sun salutations for Laura. Yeah, the sun is close. Yeah, yes. So start by sitting up nice and tall. Arms are down by the side. So we have that good posture, just like at the beginning. And we'll breathe in and lift. Exhale and fold. We'll come up halfway and fold. So we inhale, lift and reach the arms all the way up. Let's bring the hands down through the center. We can take an extra breath to come all the way down and release the hands. Breathe in to lift and exhale to fold. Let's lift halfway, so lengthening the spine and then fold. Inhale, lift and reach the arms all the way up. Bring the hands down through the center. Take an extra breath, keep breathing and release the hands. Let's try something a little different. My brain isn't working fast enough, but we'll try it. We'll lift and we'll come to cactus. So from this position, we're hinging forward just like we did with that core work, and then curl down. Come up halfway, fold forward again. Now come up halfway, bring the right hand to the left knee and take a little twist. So the spine is long here. Come through the center and switch and twist. Back to the center. Let's fold and inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Bring them down through the center. Take a breath. Inhale and lift and exhale. So your cactus, hinging forward and fold. Let's lift halfway and fold. So we'll lift halfway again, and in good yoga tradition, we'll switch hands. So this time the left hand comes down. So if you can keep that arm long and reach it up overhead. That's just a lot for my shoulder. So I'm just bringing mine to the hip, but you can make it as big as you like. Come back through the center and switch. Again, reaching that hand to the ceiling or bring it to the hip. Spine is long. Back to the center and fold. Let's just hang there for a moment. It feels good. Inhale, lift and reach the arms all the way up. And let's bring everything down. Nice. Let's bring the feet wide. And then just let everything kind of Move a little bit side to side. As you move, that back foot can turn in and you can lift the hip a little bit. So you're moving your pelvis, just swishing, and then pause in the center. When I do that, I tend to move forward on the chair a little bit. So just be careful you don't end up walking your bottom off the chair. So let's, okay, turn to the right. If only someone had brought you some water. So, first thing is holding onto the back of the chair with the right hand. Right foot is flat on the floor, we're facing the side, and this left knee can point towards the floor. If you have that mobility and you want to move your foot back a little bit, you can do that. We're trying to, so the vision I want you to have, the image, is that this crease in the front of the hip is straightening out. So that might be just letting the leg come down, or you might feel you need to push it back. Let's lift the arm up towards the ceiling, and we'll take a side bend towards the chair. Let's come up again. We'll do that a couple of times. Over towards the chair. Getting tall and reaching, and then once more towards the chair. Come up through the center. Let that arm relax for a moment, because I know it gets a bit tiring having that arm up. We'll bring the arm out to the side like a T. Bend the elbow so the hand is coming in towards your shoulder. I'm going to turn towards the chair. Come through the center, and then turn the other way and reach back with that elbow. We'll do that a couple of times. Turning towards the chair and coming back and reaching back with the elbow, and we'll do one more. We're doing quite a lot of twisting today, aren't we? And come back to the center, relax that arm, bring the foot in, and then bring it out to the side for your triangle. So let's get situated first, nice long spine. The hand can come to the inside of the thigh and hinge towards that lengthened leg. So your gaze can be wherever you are comfortable here. Pulling those toes back to the shins again. And let's slowly come up. Bring that leg in, let it move around a little bit. And then we'll slowly come around to the other side. So holding onto the chair as you scoot around. So we're holding on to the back of the chair with the left hand, left foot's flat on the floor, right knee reaches down and maybe back a little bit. But we have a nice long spine to start, and we'll lift that right arm up and then take a side bend. And come up through the center, get really tall, and then side bend. Coming through the center to reach, and then do one more. Come up through the center, lower the arm, let it hang heavy for a moment. Then we'll bring the arm out to the side, bend the elbow so the thumb is coming towards the shoulder, and then turn towards the chair. And then opening out, reaching back with that elbow. Turn towards the chair, and then to the elbow. I think I might ask next time that the camera is on the participants and not on me. That would be a bit frightening, wouldn't it? And then we'll come back, release the arm, bring the leg in, and then open out to the side. And take that triangle. So the spine is long, it's not a side bend, the spine is long and it hinges. So you might not be able to come very far, and you might feel a stretch on that inner thigh. And slowly come back up, bend that knee in, move it around a little bit. We'll come around back to the center. we're going to do our circle and our fingers again. So we'll do the right hand first. We're going to tap, 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 keep tap, tap as you make that circle. Don't look at my hand and then go backwards. So yes, I'm going backwards with my fingers now. It seems to just make sense in my little brain, yeah. And then we'll try the left hand. So I think you have to do your circling quite slowly to be able to control it. If you're making a quick circle, I can't do it. And come back down. Something like that, you know, just something new we did because we can. You know, it's a little bit of brain, a little bit of movement. This movement is supposed to wake us up. So tap, 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 tap. Meant to give us that little mid-afternoon boost. Satana me, satana. Do one more, and then give them a shake. Do a little bit of twisting. Not that kind of twisting. Okay, we're going to bring the arms out in front. Left hand doesn't move. You're going to slide, well, we're going to start by reaching the right arm forward. So the shoulder comes forward. So you're reaching and then pull it back. Slide it up inside that left arm across the collarbone and open it out to the side. And then slowly bring it back in. So we start by reaching further out. So that shoulder blade is moving. Bring it in, across the collarbone and open out behind you. And slowly close it like the pages of a book. Let's do that once more. So reaching forward, pulling back, opening it out. Then you can stay there or you can lower your arms to stay in that twist. Wherever you are, your shoulders are relaxed, even your back shoulder. And then let's turn the head slowly. So keep the torso where it is, but turn the head very slowly towards the left, like we're just checking out what's going on that side of the room. And then we'll turn it very slowly back the other way. Keep breathing. Then we'll unwind the head, unwind the arms. Just take a little twist the other way. And then come back to the center. Move the shoulders around. Let's try the other side. So hands are out in front. This time the right hand doesn't move, and we start by reaching that left arm a bit further. Then pulling it back along the arm, across the collarbone, and opening out. And then slowly closing it. Reach it forward. So feel that shoulder blade moving here, sliding back through neutral, opening out to the back. And then close it. And then once more, reach. So lower your relax your shoulders down a little bit, and then reach. Yeah. I wonder how long you'd all hold it there, and then pull it back, and open out. I just wondered how, if I didn't say anything, how long everyone would just hold it here. I'm going to keep holding it there, and then we'll relax the arms down. If you want to, you can keep them reaching. Keep breathing. So again, we'll keep the chest here, but turn the head slowly, slowly, slowly to look over the right shoulder. And then turn it slowly back the other way. Let's slowly unwind. Take a little twist the other way. And come back to the center, move those shoulders around. I feel like we've missed something. Okay. I'm not ready for that. This was our brain work today. Let's scoot forward a little bit and bring that right foot forward. Sitting up nice and tall, pulling the toes back. Let's have the hands on that left thigh. Make sure the left foot is flat on the floor and bring the chest forward. So remember, it doesn't have to be a really big stretch, but if you do feel some resistance, then pause there and take a few breaths. And when you can't hinge anymore, you can let the upper back and the neck relax a little bit. And while you're here, think about breathing into those back ribs. And slowly lengthen the spine. Bring that leg in, move it around a little bit. Let's come into our pigeon on this side. So for those at home, you could bring the heel to the ankle. You could rest that foot on something if you don't have the mobility, or you can bring it up to the thigh. So just making sure that left foot is flat on the floor. So just get a sense of how it feels on this side. Different than last week, probably. So you can stay here if you're already feeling a stretch. This right foot is flexed. You can hinge forward. Sometimes it feels like a tendon just has to kind of roll over something to get in place. Yeah, yeah. And after you've been in that position for a few breaths, you may be able to relax a little deeper. The idea is to look for release in the joint, not a super big stretch. So trying to find some softness. And again, another opportunity to breathe into the back ribs. Also, an opportunity to give yourself a little foot massage would be good. Slowly lengthen. Let's unwind the leg, keep hold of it, and just draw it in and move it around a little bit. So if you can't pull it all the way up to your chest, you could bring your hands underneath, or you could just move it around. We're just trying to release any tension we might have got in that hip. And then we'll come back and sit up. Let's just sit here and close the eyes for a couple of breaths. Just get a sense of how one side might feel different than the other. And then we'll open the eyes and we'll try the other side. So left leg out in front to start. Toes are pulling back towards the heel, to the shin. That would be interesting. And then hinge forward. That would definitely be an emergency room visit, wouldn't it? Hinging forward. Again, you may feel a stretch anywhere in that back part of the body, even up into the lower back and glute. So apparently, the Northern Lights were visible last night. I didn't see it. And again tonight, they said. Mm-hmm. If it's not cloudy. I had a friend who went to Rockford Park and she took a picture. I don't think she could see it with her naked eye, but if you look at it through your phone, you get a better view. Where did you see them? Oh, did you go there specially to see them?
No.
Oh.
Not especially.
Oh, you just happened to be out. And then bring that in, give it a little bit of movement. I'll have a look in a minute. And then we'll get ready for our pigeon pose. So again, heel can come to the ankle. It could be sitting on something, or you can bring it all the way up. And just notice this hip is probably behaving differently than the other one. So staying here, coming forward. And I can't show you mine because it's got things on it. So again, take a few breaths, letting everything relax. Thinking about the back ribs again. Let's begin to unwind. Oh, I could stay there for a long time and then move that leg around a little bit in case you've got any tension there. And if there's any last movements you want to do before your Shavasana, you can do that now. If you want to put your feet on something, or if you're at home and you want to lie down on your sofa, you could do that. Otherwise, we'll try to maintain some good posture, but let ourselves relax against the back of the chair. Let's bring the hands to the thighs and draw the elbows back. So the shoulders are relaxed, hands are just heavy on the thighs. Let's close the eyes and drop the chin. If you don't want to close your eyes, just take a soft focus a few feet in front. We'll start by thinking of relaxing different body parts by bringing our attention to them. Starting with the forehead, the cheekbones, softening the jaw, the hollow of your throat. Feel the rise and fall of your chest, and the softness of your belly. Noticing the back of your neck, your upper back between your shoulder blades, back ribs, down to your waist. Letting the top of your shoulders relax, the upper arms, elbows, forearms and wrists. Let the hands get heavier. Notice each finger resting on your thighs. Feel the back of your legs on the chair and the weight of your hands on your thighs. Relaxing the knees and the lower legs, the ankles. Letting the feet be heavy on the floor. And thinking about each toe resting on the floor. Each time you exhale, think of getting a little heavier and sinking a bit further. Focusing on the movement of your breath. If your mind wanders, just come back to the next breath. Just one breath, in and out. And you can do that an infinite number of times. Just begin to let our focus expand from that breath to our sense of shape in the room, noticing any sounds or movement, deepening the breath a little, and beginning to move ourselves. Small movements of the fingers and toes, and the wrists and ankles. It might feel good to stretch your legs and your arms, or you might want to curl up in a ball and have a nap. All those options are good. When you're ready, we'll sit up nice and tall. Let's bring the hands to the heart. Take one deep breath in and let it out. So thank you all for coming to share your practice with me. Thank you at home, and we will see you next week. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.